CWE podcast. My name is Gage, or you call me Cincy for short. CWE means Cincy Wrestling Enthusiast, wrestling podcast channel. Got to shout out my sponsors real quick: WG, Advanced G, Whip, Rogue. I got my links in the description below. You can check them out. Helps me, helps you. And then also be sure to check out my Brainbusters Tees merch. I will be working on a new merch project coming up soon, so stay tuned on that. And I have a special guest, Colt Buckin Johnson.
Good stuff, like the bucket in the middle. For those of you that do not know who I am, let me educate you real quick. My name is the Southern Sinner. I'm the current PPW Black Brand Heavyweight Champion. Colt Johnson. How you doing, player?
Pretty good. How about you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm fired up. I'm feeling good. I'm good to be here. You know what I'm saying?
I love your energy. I love it.
Thank you. I'm a very energetic guy, getting powered by Bucked Up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I get that. Where are you from?
I am from Bear City, Vermont. However, I am currently based wrestling majorly out of near the Cleveland, Lorain area of Ohio.
Okay. Not too far from Cincy. It's like 4 hours away.
Not too bad. Yeah.
How did you get into the business?
How did I get in the business? Fun little story for you here. So, I went to my first independent wrestling show in 2023 for Mega Championship Wrestling, which is now my home promotion. And I was 16, 17 at the time. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Somewhere in there. And I'm getting ready to graduate high school, right? And we go to the Mega Championship Wrestling show, and it was real cool. So we looked to see if they do like private events, right? And they did.
Right.
So they came over, or we booked Mega for my graduation party in my backyard. And
For real.
my now boss, I guess, Brandon Xavier, was like, hey, not only are we going to do this in your backyard, you can also train with us to wrestle at your graduation party. Naturally,
Wow.
I said, yes, immediately. I'm doing that. That's happening. Top 10 things that are happening, right? And one thing led to another. And I think the initial pitch was like I would just train just for that match. But, I mean, I loved it, and I stuck with it. And now I've been doing it for almost 3 years.
That's awesome. How old are you?
20.
20. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what made you become a fan? Like, was it a match?
So when I was, I want to say 2015, I would have been 10 years old.
Okay.
And I remember my parents turned on, I believe it was the 2015 Royal Rumble. And I didn't know anything about wrestling at the time, right? And the first person that really captivated me, this is a fun fact, was Eric Rowan, of all people.
Okay.
Because when I am 10-year-old child, doesn't know anything about wrestling, I liked him because he had the sheep mask.
Okay. Yeah.
And after that, I just kind of started watching it, and then some of my favorite wrestlers evolved over the years, and yeah, I've stuck with it ever since.
Awesome. You say you're from Vermont. What's the favorite place to do in Vermont?
Oh man, so that's a good question. I'm a big, Vermont, right? Good time of year, not like right now where it's freezing outside. But if you go out,
Right.
Vermont is a big nature spot, right? You got that good Vermont maple syrup too. So there's nothing better to do in Vermont than just like go outside and walk around and just take the nature in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's a good time.
Okay. Cool. What is your earliest wrestling related memory? At what point, like in life, did you know you could do this?
I guess the earliest wrestling memory would be the Royal Rumble thing that I just said.
Okay.
But the earliest time that I was like, there might be something here, was honestly after I started training to be a wrestler. Because like every wrestling fan has the thought in their head at one point or another of, man, wouldn't it be cool to do this, right?
Right. Right.
And after I got the opportunity to actually go and start doing it, even then I was like, I don't, because at the time I was like, you know, some fat kid from like I had no business being in a wrestling ring at the time.
Right. Right.
And I was like, okay, I got to get in the gym. I got to watch my diet. I got to lock in. Right. And I
For
did that.
sure.
And it was about the time where I actually started seeing like results from the gym where I'm like, okay, I might actually be able to do this. And that
Okay.
brings us to
Okay.
today.
Nice. What kind of training? Like you had to do like a lot of cardio for your in ring work.
So I do a mix of I'll do like weight training for
Mm-hmm.
about an hour, hour and a half, and then after that I'll do 30 minutes of cardio. Or 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, right?
For
I
sure.
hate I hate running with a passion, so I don't run. But what I
Right.
do is I'll go on the treadmill, I'll do 2.5 speed, but I'll do it on 15 incline. So it kind of balances out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um
For sure.
so yeah, I'll do weights and then I'll follow it up with that. And yeah, that's kind of been my regimen over the past, God, 2 3 years.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Away from wrestling, or what are your hobbies and interests?
I'm a big hobbies and interests outside of wrestling. I'm a big
Yeah.
country music guy. Big
Okay.
country
Okay.
music guy. There's a lot of concerts that are coming over towards Ohio here soon, so I think I'm going to try and go to one of those at some point.
For
Um,
sure.
I'm a big comedy fan too.
I love comedy.
I love
Yes.
stand up comedy. I like
Yes. I love laughing.
it's an underrated like tool for pro wrestling to study comedians
You know what?
because
It really is. Like they two can kind of intertwine with it. You know.
yeah, it's just the way who did I meet? I met Enzo Amore, real one, right?
Ooh.
I met him, and this was like probably 2.5 years ago when I first started like training. I was like, "Hey, you got any advice?" And his biggest piece of the key piece of advice he gave me was study comedians. And I was like, "Really?" And then I started doing it, and I was like, it clicked. I was like, it makes so much, just the stage presence they have, being able to control the room. Those are all like super important skills for being good at wrestling. You know what I mean?
I mean, perfect example. You see our truth.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, comedian. Like I love stand up comedians.
Yes.
Yep, for sure. That's a good one. I like it. Um, are you into sports at all? You a big sports fan?
The only sport I'm into is pro wrestling.
Okay,
To be
I
perfectly
like
honest
it.
with you, I've played just about every sport, and I landed on the one I'm still doing, which is the one I actually enjoy.
Okay, okay. Is this your full time gig, or do you have a day job?
So I do. This is not my full time gig, not just yet. You know what I'm saying? We're
Okay,
getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We got time.
absolutely.
But yeah, I think, and I'm glad you bring this up because I think that's an underrated part of indie wrestling
It
that
really
not a
is.
lot of people like respect is the fact that a lot of people have to balance their training, lifting, booking, and their actual job to like pay the bills.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it's getting signed would be great, but it's a game of luck, right? You have to be in the right place at the right time to be able to actually do that as your full time living. And now we live in a time where there's a lot of opportunities to be able to do it full time. Where there's now 3 national television companies, which is
Of
great.
course.
um, but yeah, that's a real underrated part of it is just finding that balance between being able to do anything. And a lot of people have kids too, which they have to deal with, which
Yeah, for sure.
fortunately I don't as of yet. But yeah, it's a juggle. It's
For
difficult.
sure, for sure. Um, so you're 20, right?
Yes.
Okay. How hard is it, to promote your merch, to promote your social medias on the independent level?
I think it's actually I don't want to say easy. Easy is not the word, but for me personally, it's one of those things to where
Or like how important is it? Like
it's so. Those are two completely different
yeah,
questions.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's
Sorry.
so. No. You're good. I'll answer both. I'm cool.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I'm the kind of guy to where once I start something, it's off to the races. But it's just
Hmm.
getting me to actually start the consistency of it. That's like kind of difficult. But now with my social media, I just hit 20,000 followers on Facebook today. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool. Um, and I hit 1,000 on Instagram not too long ago, maybe a week or two ago. It's weirdly harder to grow on Instagram than Facebook for
It
some reason. I
really
don't
is
know
because
why.
I'm stuck at 520, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
weirdly
crazy.
harder. I don't know why. Like I have 6 times the amount of views on Facebook, and I don't know. It's weird. I'm not gonna question it because I'm still growing. So whatever.
Right, for
But
sure,
yeah.
for sure.
So the other half of that question, social media is an unbelievably important part of like promoting yourself as a wrestler, right? Because one of the big things is you need a following, right? If you don't have a following, why would somebody book you on their show? If you're not bringing in people to come to their show, there's no real reason why they should be booking you. And also, you can use the following as, I don't want to use the word leverage, but like you can go, hey, this is what I bring to the table. Let me come wrestle for you, or let me do this podcast, or let me do this interview or promo or whatever.
For sure. Let's see. Um, can you tell us about your first singles match or tag team match?
So the first match I had was in my backyard at my graduation party.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep,
It
yep, yep, yep.
was it was an 8-man tag, and I kind of just got my ass kicked the whole time, and I eventually ended up winning. So
Okay, okay.
don't you love it when a play comes together? But my first singles match, I believe, was we did a show at the Lake County Captains baseball game, I want to say,
Okay.
like a spot show. And that was where I had my first like actual singles match in front of a crowd. And that was quite the experience. I was very worried, as one person is. And I mean, you've heard it before. If you're not nervous before you go through the curtain, you don't care anymore, which there's arguments to be made for and against that. But
Right, right.
yeah, I was very nervous, and it ended up going real well. So yeah, I mean, I was happy with it.
That's good. That's good. Can you tell us about your most proud match that you've been a part of?
Ooh, my most proud match, man. I've okay. I think I do have an answer for this. So
Okay.
last year, right? We do Mega Championship Wrestling does a show every year called Colossal Con, right?
Okay.
And it's this big show at Kalahari during like an anime convention or whatever, and you basically will wrestle for a bunch of people, and that's every year. That's our biggest show. That's like our biggest crowd, right? There's over 1,000 people every year, and this past year, I wrestled a man by the name of Ashton Day, who's a bad person, but I won't get into that. Um, and we just we tore the house down, right? Like it was legitimately the loudest I've ever heard a crowd be during like a wrestling match that I was involved in, and there's no feeling better than 1,000 people calling you an asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time. It's underrated feel. I was just soaking it, man. Yeah, that's got to be the match I'm most proud of. It was so
Nice.
between the match itself and then the crowd reaction to it was just unmatched.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, what's the longest you have to travel for a match,
What's
or
the
what's the longest you ever traveled for a match?
So the longest I have, I want to say probably 3-4 hours. Nothing too bad yet. But for stuff I have lined up in the near future, it's going to be a lot longer than that. Like one I can say as of now because it's been confirmed. I'm going to Illinois here in July, so
Okay.
that's a 6 some odd hour drive, and then it's looking like I may have stuff lined up for Florida and stuff lined up for maybe Minnesota too, and those are very long drives. So my
Okay,
answer
okay,
will hopefully be different by the end of the year if everything works out according to plan.
for sure, for sure. Um, so I know it's important to be good on the ring and on the mic, but if you had to pick one as a wrestler, what are you going with?
Mike, hands down, not even
Okay.
close.
Yep.
You can at the end of the day, this is like a show business, right? You
Absolutely.
can how many times have you seen somebody come in and they're an unbelievable wrestler, but they had no charisma or they couldn't talk and they just never got over or as over as they could have been had they had that ability. For me, the
Right.
magic is when you get somebody that can wrestle and they have that charisma and then it's together, that's how you get your top stars in the industry. So I think
Absolutely.
both are important, but for me personally, I think promo slash charisma ability is just that little bit higher.
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. You need people to actually, believe you.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think I think, being good on the mic would definitely, if I was a wrestler, I would definitely be better on the mic. Um, let's see what. So your Facebook following, you got like 20,000 followers. Um, what do you just do? You post a lot of wrestling content because I see you post a hell lot,
Yeah.
like a lot of wrestling content. Is that what it was from?
So I started my following through just posting wrestling clips and stuff and for my matches and whatever, and eventually it got to the point where I was like not plateauing, but the growth wasn't as quick as I would have liked it to be.
Of course.
And then I started just on a whim just doing random videos asking dumb questions in my car about wrestling, and
Yeah,
that's when I really saw the growth start to like
pick
actually
up.
take place. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Like before I started doing that, I maybe had 5,000 followers, which is still like good.
Right.
But
Right.
ever since I started doing that and a mix of like that and also my wrestling has just gotten better over the past year or whatever. So that helps.
Of
And
course.
just consistently posting 3 times every day on top of whatever else I may share or like or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like I started this year at 9,000. So in a span of 2 months, I've gone up like 11,000. It's been crazy.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, it's been wild.
That's crazy. Um, so far, what has wrestling taught you, or what
Uh,
have you learned through pro wrestling?
I'd say I'll give you two. One
Yeah.
piece of advice that I got, which really stuck with me, was I did a seminar with D'Lo Brown, right?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
And the one thing he said a lot of things that stuck with me, but the one of the things that he said that stuck with me for like not just wrestling but life was you can't blame somebody for not knowing something that they didn't know.
True. True.
You know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
said it and I'm like that makes so much sense. It's like that you can't they don't know. You know what I mean? If they know and then they do something to oppose that, and that's a whole other story. But you can't blame somebody for not knowing something they don't know. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
that just resonated with me. I don't know why. And I learned a lot about how to kind of be more extroverted. Like
Okay.
before I started wrestling, I was real like a shy, quiet kind of kid. And now, if you ask any of my friends, I won't shut up. Right? I've gotten so much more extrovert. You have to be extroverted for wrestling.
You have to
You
be
just
sometimes.
have
Right.
to. You have
Yeah.
to be. Whether it be networking or just being in the ring, you have to be extroverted. You can't be afraid to talk to people. And that was a hurdle I had to get over for a while, but now I don't think I'm completely over it yet, but I'm the closest to being over it as I've ever been, which has been a blessing for me.
For sure.
But yeah, it's you got to just get over that hurdle of you just got to be extroverted, even if you
Yeah.
force yourself.
Yeah. It took me a while for get this podcast to start, but like you just got to be extroverted. I like it. What is the strangest encounter you had with a fan, or have you
Oh,
had any unusual experience?
um, I don't know that it's strange, but like every now and again, I'll have like chicks slide up in my DMs and just all the way down, and I just don't respond. I'm like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good in that department. Um,
Right, right.
but yeah, that happens fairly often. Like I've heard a lot of people, they're they'll know people that have a crush on Colt Johnson or whatever, and that always just makes me laugh. So I'm like, yeah, you know, you know what I'm saying.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
I
that
love
always
it
makes me laugh.
for
But
sure.
weird, I wouldn't call that weird because I think like a lot of wrestlers have that happen to them. Um,
Hmm.
man, yeah, I think that's probably the answer I'll give now. If I think of something else,
But to say
I'll
you've
come
never
back.
had a knife been pulled on you?
No, I haven't had anything like that happen. Thank God.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say I think one of my wrestlers I had on the show. He said he got a knife pulled on by some old lady. I'm like,
Really,
what the
an
heck? That's
old lady?
crazy. Yeah.
Holy, she meant business. She said, "You are not going to say that. I'm gonna take care of business right now. Don't you play with me."
Right, right. Um, you seem like you're a baby face. Are you a baby face?
So here's what I'll say to that. Right, a lot of people will ask me this question, and my answer is, I don't really play a character.
Okay.
I'm just me, and depending on where I'm at, people will like it and some people won't. Some people will see me as overconfident or whatever and they'll boo me. Like at Mega, I get booed a lot. But at PPW, I get cheered crazy and I changed nothing. You can ask anybody that's seen me, I changed literally nothing.
It's just a
So
crowd energy,
it's
I guess.
exactly, it's just
Hmm.
however the crowd decides to react to me that I'm not like playing anything. I'll just go out there, I'll wrestle, and I'll more often than not win. And it is what it is. If I'm a very braggadocious type, if you will, when I'm in that ring.
Okay.
So some people hate me for it, and other people were like, you know what? He's a funny guy. He's right, and they'll cheer me. So I've had both sides of the spectrum.
I like it. I like it for sure. Um, on your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, who is it on? Who's your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling?
I think this is like the one question that I don't think I've been asked.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay.
Um, Flair's on there. Um,
Uh,
Dusty Rhodes is on there. Both for similar yet different reasons. Flair, for my money, is the greatest of all time. Dusty's up there, but he also had a hand in developing some of the biggest stars in the industry today. Your Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, etc. So I think
yep.
Seth
Yep.
Rollins, that's an
Yep.
underrated part of him. So I'll put him on there.
Mhm.
Um, Now I'm juggling between a couple here because some
Okay.
days you could say Shawn Michaels, some day you could say Triple H, some days you could say Cena, you could say Orton. There's so many different people, but I think what I will land on is for my last two, and I'm probably forgetting some. Oh my gosh, throw the Undertaker on there. He's one
Okay.
definitely, and I'm juggling between a couple. I'm gonna throw. I don't really hear this a lot on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore. I'm going to throw Triple H on there for a similar reason that I threw Dusty Rhodes on there. In the sense of
He
Triple
knows how
H
to.
already had an unbelievable career, 14 whatever time world champion. He was on top forever. And you could already argue that he could be on the Mount Rushmore just based off of that.
Yeah.
But then you have to also look at the fact that like he's behind the scenes now and he's responsible for most of what we're seeing on TV. Now you could criticize about whatever nowadays, but like peak the peak of WWE when I was throughout when I've been watching. I started watching like I don't want to say full time, but you know what I mean, in
Yeah.
2016, right? And the peak for wrestling for me was the build up to WrestleMania in 2024. there was no, in the time I've been watching, there was no better time to be a wrestling fan from like when Cody won the Rumble till WrestleMania 40. That
Right,
span of
right.
time was just unmatched,
Yeah.
right? And that for me was that, and Triple H was responsible for that. Now, granted, what happened may not have been the original plan, but he had the wherewithal to be able to pivot and go, okay, this is what we should be doing now. He was listening to the fans, and what happened, and Cody and Roman from that year is still, it might be my favorite match of all time.
I mean, yeah. I mean that match is so good. You can go back and watch it 1,000 times.
Yes. That match to me is what pro wrestling is. There were so many moments in that match. Like, I couldn't tell you a sequence that they did or whatever, but I can tell you 15 things that made the audience go crazy in that match over any like string of moves they could put together. You know what I'm saying? So it was just different.
Right. That's yeah, for sure. That match was crazy for
Yes.
sure. Let me see. I have to say, you said your influence is um Rowan, right?
That was my first favorite wrestler. I don't think he was the one that was like, "Oh man, I want to become a wrestler because of him." But
Okay.
he was my first favorite wrestler when I was a kid. But I think really the person that I was kind of like I saw and I really really liked and I was like, I might be able to do this was Johnny Gargano in like
Oh,
2018. He was on that crazy run in NXT where he literally couldn't have a bad match if you blindfolded him and cut both his arms off. Um,
yeah.
he was on a crazy run, and he's from Cleveland, Ohio, similar to where I'm at, and he's not like this big yoked out dude. He's obviously in good shape. He's like shredded,
Of
but he's
course.
not like 6'5" or whatever, and I'm not that tall either. So I'm like, I there might be something to this. This might actually be an avenue to where I could maybe do something here. And
Of course.
lo and behold, here we are, 3 years deep.
I like Johnny Gargano. I
Yeah.
really do. His, like you said, his NXT days is where he did his best magic. Like,
Yes.
for real. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the industry itself as we have more promotions? I mean, we got Ring of Honor, AAA, NXT, AEW, Dynamite. The list goes on, but like
Yeah.
it's evolving right now, and it's becoming a pop culture thing.
There's there's arguably more opportunities now to make a full-time living in pro wrestling since the territory days in the 80s. For a long time, there from like the end of WCW to when AEW started, there was really only one show in town, right? It was WWE,
Right,
or you could maybe make a living on the indies if you were like a top guy, right? Um, but
right,
now, like you said, there's TNA's on TV. AEW has 2 shows on TV. WWE has 3 shows on TV, plus AAA. MLW's out there. NWA's out. Like, there's so many different ways you can make a living, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. But there's so many different ways that New Japan too. There's another one.
yeah. New
And
Japan.
I
Yep.
know there's a lot of companies in Japan where people wrestle full time. So there's so many opportunities to be able to wrestle full time. But the issue with that is it's almost like it's wrestling has almost become oversaturated. Like, there's so many good promotions and there's so many good wrestlers that it's hard for somebody to actually like get noticed. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of saw that and was like, what am I going to do to set myself apart? So that's when I started to really try and dig deep and drive home on the social media following, right? Because
Of
uh,
course.
that's one thing that'll set you apart over a lot of different people is if you have that following, then people are going to want to see you wrestle. They're going to want to see you talk. They're going to want to see you on national TV. So that's when I
Right.
really started to hammer home, okay, this is something I have to lock in on. I need to do this. And So far, so good.
Right, absolutely. Um, what are your 2026 goals for wrestling?
For wrestling. So I do have some goals. I have a list in my phone, actually, in my notes app, but I won't. I
Okay.
won't. I won't share the whole thing. I'll give you a couple of the key. I'll
Yeah.
give you a couple of key things. Right. I want to hit more states, um, which is something that hopefully is being lined up pretty well right now. I've made some connections through a different podcast, so that was
Nice,
cool.
nice,
Um, Shout out Lariat Network. Um,
nice.
So that was a cool connection I made. So hopefully something can come through there. So yeah, I want to hit more states. I want to grow my so my goal for social media in wrestling would be I want to hit 50,000 followers across everything by the end of the year, which I don't think is that crazy considering in 2 months I've gone up 11,000 followers. So I think that is a personal goal I have for myself across everything. I want to be able to do that. And I also want to get my content monetized on Facebook. It should be already, but I'm on a wait list. They hate me. Please Facebook
Yeah,
monetize me, I beg of you. Um so yeah,
yeah. I don't know how
that's a
many.
big thing.
I don't know how many followers you have to have on Facebook to be monetized.
I think it's
Is it 500?
10,000. I think it's
Oh,
10,000
10,000.
from what I
Okay,
heard.
okay.
To have like your content monetized.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
it says I'm on a wait list. I've been on a wait
Yeah,
list since 10,000 followers. I've since doubled my following and I'm still not monetized.
that's crazy.
It sucks, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to argue with Facebook, you know what I mean? That's a fight I'm not going to win.
Of course, of course. Uh, what will be a dream opponent for you?
Oof. Of all time or that currently wrestles cuz this will change my
It could
answer.
do both. You could do
Okay.
present or past.
So present, I'll do past first. He
Okay.
is very recently retired, but he was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and for my money, underrated goat in the industry. AJ Styles, right? I would have loved to wrestle AJ Styles at some point. I think that would have been so fun. It would have been a great experience, but he's retired now. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Good for you,
Yeah,
AJ. I'm happy for you.
for sure.
Um,
I met AJ with last year around this time last
yeah,
year, and I got a picture with him during the Wheatley meet and greet, whatever. And then right after, I went to Walmart and bought me an AJ Styles action figure.
nice, good
So
stuff.
yeah, I mean, like I didn't get no autograph because, like, a picture with AJ Styles is like it
That's
what
better
they
than an
say.
autograph.
Yeah. So my friend's dad, he actually got AJ's autograph on a Wheatley shirt, which is pretty cool,
Yeah,
And it was just like a full circle moment. It's like, damn, I didn't realize he was going to retire that fast.
yeah.
But but he is the fastest WWE wrestler to make it to the Hall of Fame in
Is
10
he really?
years. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean that was honestly I was a big Styles guy when he was like WWE champion around like 2017 through like 2018. He was my guy, right? And yeah, that one honestly, Styles retiring hit harder for me than Cena retiring.
it really did because for me, I'm 26, okay, and I would first recall wrestling when I was like 3 years old. When I first seen AJ on TNA TV that wasn't WWE, I was like, wow, this is so cool, and him doing all those kinds of moves made me more invested in TNA, and I actually got to do a podcast with Mr. Kennedy. Um, but I asked him about his TNA days, and yeah, he at one point I thought TNA was definitely on the verge of passing WWE at one point, but yeah, it's crazy now to think about it.
Yeah. I'm yeah, that one hit hard. I was actually sad when Styles like retired. So I was like, oh, because in my head I was like, he might not be retiring here, right? I wasn't sold that
Yeah,
he was gonna.
I
And
wasn't either.
when he tapped or when he passed out, I was like, oh my god, I was like, oh, I was devastated. But
Yeah,
life moves on. You know what I mean?
for sure, for sure. And I said don't. What I said on Facebook, I said don't cry because it's over. Cries because it happened.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, AJ is definitely one of the greatest of all times. Um, who would you say? Do you have a arch rival that you just hate? You want to beat up every weekend?
Good
You can
question.
call them out if you want to.
All right. I got two right now, actually. Two people that I absolutely despise, right? One of them I previously mentioned. Ashton Day, if you see this, I want you to know I hate you. You suck. I hope both sides of your pillow is warm. I hope all of your lights in your house get unscrewed a little bit so none of your lights work and you don't know why. I hope the next time you use mustard, I hope the plug comes out and goes on your sandwich or your hot dog or whatever you eat. I hate you with a burning passion. Yeah. And to string off of that, one of his best friends is a man by the name of Bryson Teller. He cost me my match against Ashton Day. And the reason I was wrestling Ashton Day is because he cost me my Infinity Championship at Mega Championship Wrestling. So
Oh
that
no!
match led to me and Ashton Day, and Bryson decided it'd be a good idea to make his grand return and come in and screw me, and he cost me the match. So yeah, Bryson, I want you to know I hate you. You're a bad person. You should not have come back.
Dang, dang! I like it. I like it. Um, do you have a favorite move you like to do, or you won't take as as I say? Yeah, favorite move you like to do, and a move that you don't want to take.
So, my favorite move to do, just because it's a lot of fun, I like doing my finish. It's called Johnson style. Basically, it's an F5, but instead of on my shoulders, I'll have them like World's Strongest Slam style, right?
Okay.
You spin them out into a thing. That move is a lot of fun. I also like doing pop up power bombs. When you do it with the
Oh,
right person,
oh,
those are a lot of fun. So I'd say those
yes.
are my two. I don't particularly like taking most, if any, moves because, contrary to some belief, this hurts a lot, right? So I don't love taking any move, to be perfectly honest with you. But
Yeah,
I especially don't like moves where being dropped on my head. So any of those, take your
you like
pick.
power drivers.
None of
Yeah.
those, poison radas, Canadian destroy. None of those. Throw all those out the window.
Do you have any upcoming shows you want to promote and hype up?
Yes. So let me pull up my calendar real quick because
Yeah, you're good.
after March, the weekend after March 7th, it's off to the races for Colt Johnson.
Okay.
So, uh, Sunday, March 8th, I am at Power Slam Pro Wrestling in New Philadelphia, Ohio. I will be defending my Black Brand Heavyweight Championship against somebody. Uh, that weekend, I am at Neo Pro Wrestling. They're having a Kids Fest. The weekend after, I will be in Independence for a show. The weekend after that, Saturday, March 28th, I will be at Mega Championship Wrestling doing something. We shall see. I hope to God I finally get my hands on Bryson Teller because I've never actually like wrestled him in a one-on-one straight up match, and I hate him and I want to, pardon my French, beat the shit out of him. So that'll be fun. Uh,
I love it. I love
yeah.
it.
So that's my March. Busy weekends, just about every weekend for Colt Johnson.
Do you have any merch you want to shout out or your sponsorship?
Yes. So if you go on my Facebook page, you will see I have a Brainbusters T website, but I also have my own personal website, ColtJohnsonPro.com. You can get all your merchandise and stuff from there if you don't get it from actual shows you attend. If you go to buckedup.com, if you're a big energy drink guy, you like their shirts or whatever, use code Colt45Johnson to check out to save you 10% off of your entire order. Please do it. I love Bucked Up. Pulling back the curtain here, I absolutely already used Bucked Up prior to me getting sponsored. So now it's just great that I get to shill Bucked Up. I
Yeah.
already liked it. Their stuff is good. It's literally, I use Mother Bucker. You literally will not find a harder hitting pre-workout. It's a great time. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Facebook. It's Colt Johnson on Facebook, Colt45 Johnson on TikTok, and Colt_45_ Johnson on Instagram. You'll know it's me because it's the two verified accounts on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to my YouTube. Look up Colt Johnson Wrestling on YouTube, and you will know it is my channel because my face is the icon.
I love it. I love it. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think I do. This was a
Okay.
good experience. I'm glad I partook in this podcast. I'm a big podcast guy. I love doing
Me
podcasts.
too. I love it, and last year I was just going through like the ideas and stuff, and I'm just like, just shoot for it. So
Yeah,
we're in February, about to be in the 1st of March. This is episode 24, so you're my 24th guest. So, and I've been doing it since January. Yeah,
nice,
busting them out, and I like to support the local indie guys. The indie scenes, you guys need a lot of light. You guys need a lot of exposure because you guys do the same things that we see on TV every week. So, like, I'm currently trying to work on a partnership with Ohio Valley Wrestling at the moment
nice.
to like bring in more pro wrestling content for them.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, I love pro wrestling in general, but like I love to support the local indie guys. You guys deserve much love for sure.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, big podcast
And
guy.
then yeah,
Love
this
doing
is
them.
episode 24 with Colt Buck and yeah, yes sir. And yeah, this is Colt Buck and Johnson. And yeah, if you guys want to check out my sponsorship as well, I got WG, Rogue Energy, Advance, Deutsch Cookie Dough, Snacking Cookie Dough. Use my link. You could save $5 off on each purchase. And then yeah, my Brainbusters tees. You could find my hats like this. I also got hoodies, sweatshirts, and then I'm working on a new merch logo drop. So be sure to check out that. And yeah, if you guys like this podcast, give me a like, follow, subscribe, and yeah, episode 24 with Colt Buck